I am on the road. My sister is moving out of her home. She's moving from Wellington and I'm going to help her clean her place. My other sister is also joining, who is partnership with her in the house, and we're all going to do a bit of a mish either tonight or tomorrow or continuing over the weekend. It's Thursday today. So I've just been chatting with them and they've organised some dinner for me when I arrive at 6:30. I have decided that I am going to do Vida, which is vlog every day in April. Vlog every day in April. Something like that. Anyway, I thought that this vlog I would teach you a little bit about EVs because they're pretty special to James and I. We have had ours for, I want to say 3 years, but it could be longer, and we are hugely convinced that it's just something that we will never go back. If we get a second vehicle, it'll be one that does a long range. The only restriction on this is that it only does 130 kilometres. I'm going to give you very surface information that I know, being a non-mechanical person, a non-car person, but I do know enough about EVs to get by. So there are two things I want to talk about in this video. First is what I know about EVs and how awesome they are, and the second is today is the day that Transmission Gully has opened in the Wellington region. So the Transmission Gully has been going for years, and it's a cut-through road that they've taken through the hills to take you from going around the coastline, and they've made a big highway through the hills to get from the coast into the main centre of Wellington, or to bypass a lot of the congestion that they've had for years and years and years. There's still bottlenecks in other places around the Wellington region, but today's the day that this one opens, and it's been a big long wait. So I've bought my dash cam and I'm going to put you on the front and I'll show you what it looks like. So vlogging every day in April just means that I'm going to put out a vlog every day in April. Crazy, I know, but it is something that I'm going to do because I love the challenge. I love to be able to get better and better and better at what I'm doing, and today it's transporting the EV to Wellington. I am in Otaki right now, and this is the place where we generally do our fast charge. So how it works is that we usually plug it in at home. We have a somewhat of a faster charge. It's not just a slow, takes overnight to charge. We can fully charge our car to 100% within about 3 or 4 hours. And so that charge gives us about 130 kilometres on our clock in our vehicle. And it takes about 70 to get us to Otaki. Because when I arrived here, I had 63 left. And we fast charge it, and that'll get me to Wellington. We've brought a plug with us, and I'm going to charge that at my sister's place or at my son's place, depending on where I stay tonight, and we just charge it regularly from a plug in their house, drag it outside with the extension lead, and we plug the car in, and that's how it works. We have never ever run out of battery on the side of the road. We just know what it needs to get us places, and we charge accordingly. And every time we charge it to 100%, and we get approximately 130 kilometres. It reduces with if the car's full. Like if I've got 5 people in here, it might not do 130 kilometres. Oh, if you're going up hills, a lot of hills, and no downhill. Often with the EV, when you go up a hill, it will use power, but then on the downhill you regain it back. So if it's not using any acceleration, it'll just give the power back to you. It just works like that. So sometimes we have felt like we might not have enough juice to get to where we need to go, but we end up having enough because by the time you do all the downhills, it just ends up fine. And every fast charge that we use, it costs about $8 to $10. And for us to get to Wellington from Palmerston North, which is about 180 kilometres, we have to do a charge halfway there, a charge when we're there, and a charge halfway home. So that's 3 charges we have to do that 180 kilometres. The EV can be a little bit tedious if you want to get somewhere in a hurry, especially if you need to stop and do fast charging. But I couldn't bring the Santa Fe because Emma is going for her licence tomorrow in the Santa Fe, and she really has been practising in that 4-wheel drive vehicle, and so she wanted to sit it in the 4-wheel drive vehicle. It's an easier vehicle for her to use because it's slower on the gas. One thing about the EV that people don't realise is how fast they are. They're incredibly fast. They're very zippy. As soon as you hit the accelerator, it goes. There's no delay, there's no shut off or time delay. And so she doesn't like that when she's driving around doing her licence and having to stay exactly on the speed. Another thing is this has got a giant digital clock of what speed she's actually going. So if she goes even 51, automatic fail, whereas the Santa Fe doesn't have anything like that. It's just a hand dial to show which speed she's going, so it's tester's discretion. Anyway, I'm going to show you this charge thing. So it looks like you can charge 2 vehicles. It looks like there's a charge there and a charge on the other side, but it's only one machine. So if a car was next to me, they couldn't use this. They have to have 2 because different vehicles have different plug points and need different things. So we plug it in from the thing that comes off the side. It's like a pump. It's just like a petrol pump. Got a little thing that we zap here, and then it tells us. So this is telling me what I understand of this, not much. It tells me that it's been going for 11 minutes and that we are at 89% charged. And as soon as it hits 100%, because I've asked it to fill to the maximum, it will stop. I can only fill it to 80% if I just want to do a really quick charge and I just want to get another half an hour down the road. It'll just do the 80%, which won't take me as long, but I really want to do the 100% because I've got a little bit extra to do today. So it's on 89% and we'll probably do another 10 minutes and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, so it's 7:05 and I'm frustrated waiting. It's taken another 5 minutes to do 1%. James did say the last 10% of the charge can sometimes take longer than the whole thing. So I'm going to leave it at 92% and see how far I go. If I have to stop and charge in Parapara or something like that, then I will, but I don't think I'm going to have to. Stop, I just have to tap that and press stop. Cool. And then I can unplug it. That's the one we use when we're at home, and this is the one we use when we're fast charging. I'll show you some of the drive and hopefully see the sunset and get through Transmission Gully for the first time ever in my life. So exciting! It says New State Highway 1 motorway now open. No stopping on motorway. No stopping. No stopping. Once we get on, we're not allowed off. Commit. Whoa, nearly went off. Would have been a bad call. Let's go, let's go. This feels like a really steep climb. Like it's gradual, but it's quite steep. It's just using quite a lot of power. Like I've used 10 kilometers just going up the hill so far. Looks like I'm going to go down now. Reach the top. No drama. it is much later in the evening. It's like after 11 o'clock at night, and we've been doing a lot of packing and sorting and organising of my sister's things. I'm just being quiet because I'm out near the street. I have parked up our car. I've got this fluorescent light. It's glowing me up like a bug. And I'm just showing you how I plug her in for the night, and she'll just do a slow charge so that I can use her in the morning. She lasted that whole trip. We arrived here with 46 kilometres left on the clock, so she did really well. Love Transmission Gully, but my sister tells me apparently there's a really big bridge, and I didn't see that going over in the dark, so I'll have to look out for that next time. I'd like to do the full run into Wellington and see what it's like. It definitely cuts off at least 30 kilometres of road, so it's just incredible. So just taken an extension lead that we've got running from the side of the garage, and it just comes out in this big black pipe that we have always in the back of the car. We plug her in, and then this runs from the car, and it's got some kind of model cable. This gets plugged into the extension lead, and I've borrowed my sister's extension lead, but we normally take one with us. That is a very magnified look of a tired woman. Okay, so I hope you found that interesting, learning a little bit about EVs. We thoroughly enjoy it. So thus begins vlog every day in April. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye for now.